Hi guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my interpretation on this year's first euphonium selection entitled B minor for the TMEA all-state process. I want to welcome you guys again to the series. You know, we started this with ATSSB, the ATSSB all-state etudes, and let me tell you, I've been reading the comments and it just makes my day to hear that the videos helped. And you know, it just makes me want to do more. And here we are, now we're doing the TMEA, so perfect. All right, everybody. This is page 36 on the Euphonium Voxman Selected Studies. Let's take it out and let's get right into it. B minor. All right, guys. So the very first thing I see is that this etude's entitled B minor. That simply means we're just going to be studying the scale of B minor, the B minor scale. And let me pull it up real quick right here. This is the scale of B minor. Before even diving into the etude, I would suggest practicing them like I have right here in whole notes. You know, nice comfortable tempo, could be 60, 90 or whatever, but just, you know, nice and comfortable. We need to get used to hearing those pitches, you know, starting on the B natural, ascending all the way to the B natural, right? We have the F sharp and we have the C sharp, remember, 2 and 3 for both. And then for the C sharp up top, you know, it could be second or it can also be 2 and 3, depends on the tuning. The tempo, it's moderato. We see on the top left of the page, moderato, that just simply means we're going to be, you know, in the middle, not too fast and not too slow, you know, right there in the middle, nice and comfortable. But always look, you know, at the TMEA website, they have suggested tempos. And you know what? Here it is. Right here, that's the screenshot from the suggested tempo that the TMEA website wants us to use. So always, you know, make sure that's around there. That's what, you know, your goal tempo, you know, by the time we get to area or all state right there. So that's the very first thing I see with this etude. Wait, Adrian, I'm confused. Why are we supposed to look at scales that have nothing to do with this etude? Let me tell you why. So check it out. Let's take out the B minor scale real quick. That B minor scale, how many sharps do we see? We have the F and C. That's it. But we don't see the B sharps. We don't see the G sharps, you know, and all the other tricky ones that we have on this etude. So what I want you to do is isolate those scales, you know, the ones I listed in the previous slide, because that's going to make your reading so much easier. Let's put it this way. Who's seen Karate Kid? You know, it's the Daniel-san and Mr. Miyagi. What did Mr. Miyagi make Daniel-san do that drove him insane, that drove him crazy? You know, Daniel-san, you know, he wanted to do all the moves, you know, the fancy moves, but what did Mr. Miyagi make him do? He made him do the wax on, wax off. And he was like, why am I doing this when I could be fighting, you know, all the, you know, training and fighting all the guys? Why are you making me do this? Because Daniel-san, you have to progress slowly, you know, the whatever he would say. But those are fundamentals, guys. We're not just gonna dive in. I'm not, look, with me, I don't just go into an etude and I just read it. I see what I need to, you know, what I need to do outside of it so I can train to get to that strength. So this etude, I broke it into 3 chunks. Let's get them out real quick. 1 and 3 focus on first. I hope you guys screenshot it. If not, go again and do it. Chunk 1 and chunk 3, those are the ones to isolate first. From here to you finish learning that etude. Always focus on chunk number 1 and chunk number 3. We're gonna leave out chunk number 2. I'll explain right now. But remember, chunk 1, the beginning theme, right there, right? Go slow, note by note. I mean those 16 notes, don't play them 16 notes. Nope, don't go 16 notes, play them as 8 notes. I know it's gonna suck, but it's gonna make accuracy. It's not gonna create bad habits. Like I said, remember we're gonna be, we're building our in the gym, we're slowly lifting it all the way to, our 4 plates, like I mentioned, right? We need to build it slow. Slowly is gonna win the race, like I said. So for chunk number 2, that is, honestly, put a big star on that one. That's where you're gonna be separating yourself from everyone else in the room. Either, that's where you're gonna have the best time of your life, because you're gonna be creating music. That's where you're gonna be free to do all the musicality you want. Take the dynamics to heart. That right there, vibrato, everything, exaggerate the phrases. That, honestly, I see that from there to the end being the area cut. I totally see it. But that chunk right there, take it to heart. Be you, be yourself. Like I said, add your fingerprint. Someone, play it like nobody else would do it. Don't play it like, the recording you see on YouTube or whatever. Play it like the way you would play. Exaggerate the phrases and make the judges, fall for you. It's gonna be amazing right there. Let's talk about the tricky rhythms. So check it out. This is the ones from our etude right here. That's the very first one. Here's the second one. How do we play those? Right now, let's put them away. How do we play those? Well, guess what? Let me give you guys the rhythmic combination right here. So here we go. This is the exact same thing. There's the first one. There's the second one. It's the exact same thing. And now let's put them both together. Right there. It's the exact same thing. The top one as the bottom one. Just that the bottom one, it's faster, quote unquote faster. That's all it is. You practice those on top, it's the exact same thing. Just, a little bit faster than that. But it's the exact same thing. Same, same feeling and same everything. No big deal. Guys, that's the whole etude. Honestly, we dissected everything. Let's just rewind and recap everything. So check it out. Remember, sharps, take them to heart. Those you're gonna circle them and practice the scales. Like I said, Mr. Miyagi. You make them proud. Practice all your scales. Your fundamentals. So whenever we get to the etude and the fancy moves, it's gonna be flawless. We talked about the B minor triad, the style. Remember, just real quick, let's talk about there's a lot of articulations right here. We have staccatos. Remember, always differentiate between the articulations. We have accents, staccatos, and legatos. So just those real quick. And also remember, last thing, dynamics and everything. The retardando right there. We see 2 of them right there. I think so. There's one at the very bottom, and I believe that's the only one. Correct me if I'm wrong on the comments. That's the only one right there. So check it out. Take those to heart and make the last measure, the last 2 measures, the most beautiful thing you can do. And last thing, I know I said last thing again, but last thing, make it your own. It has to be you. You can't sound like a musical recording just playing through it. Make it your own etude. Make it whoever. Scratch off the name out top and put your name on it at this point. Make it your own etude, and you're gonna, the judges are gonna love you. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave you guys with some exercises that I listed right here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video useful. And again, leave me any comments if there's any other questions or anything else. Okay, good to see y'all. I'll see you guys on the next video.